Hey folks, welcome to the Cripescast. Today, we got a fashion designer on the deal, a Midwest born and bred fashion designer, Elena Velez. You've seen her designs in Taylor Swift videos. Celebrities have worn them. She's New York Fashion Week.
The real deal.
The real deal. It's pretty cool because, a lot of people, when they think, oh, Midwest fashion, what does that even mean? Is that just like people in the Midwest wearing fashionable stuff 10 years after it was fashionable? And that might be true if you're talking about me. But Elena is on the cutting edge of this, and it's very cool to see someone from the Midwest step up. Her story, quick story. Elena, she's a Milwaukee native. She lives in New York City right now. She went to schools, Parsons School of Design, Central St. Martin's. And she is an award-winning fashion designer. She was named the 2022 Emerging Designer of the Year by the Council of Fashion Designers of America. She was recognized as part of Elle Magazine's 2023 Women of Impact, 2022, the Vogue Fashion Fund winner. She's been featured in Forbes magazine.
It goes on.
It goes on and on and on. Her mom was a Great Lakes ship captain. She drove ships all throughout Lake Michigan, based in Milwaukee. And everything from icebreakers to sort of those cruise ships, those booze cruise things. She was in the ship kind of at an early age, and that inspired her aesthetic. Kind of the Rust Belt cities of the Midwest inspired her sort of industrial aesthetic that has now made its way to celebrities like Colleen's favorite, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
What's music video is?
Fortnite with Post Malone.
Oh, yes. I forgot.
Yeah.
I clearly have seen that, and it's a wonderful music video, ladies and gentlemen. But I will say it was cool to have Elena on, and we discussed like what it would take to make Milwaukee kind of an epicenter for fashion. She seems to have some dreams for that and some ideas for that. So it's really cool. Anytime we can find someone just repping the Midwest in the top tier of their industry, it's very fun. And also, we're all about those deep teases here. We just might have Barron's Old Fashioned Brandy as a New York Fashion Week sponsor.
Yeah.
If she can give us a coupon on that deal.
Yep. If she can give you a coupon, and if we just got to work on your walk, I think.
Oh, yeah. We did a fake runway walk. I'm going to say it was fake because some didn't think it was that good. So, I was doing that for comedic purposes, Colleen. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's all coming up on this podcast. Before we get to it, folks, if you are looking for any Midwest merch, check out Cripescast.com. Click on the merch section. And also, ladies and gents, I am on tour this weekend. I am going to be doing the Northwood State Fair up there in Chippewa Falls. We got the Wisconsin State Fair coming up, Big Top Chautauqua.
The Lumberjack.
Lumberjack Festival.
Yeah, I was in Hayward last week and I saw all the posters for it. So
nice.
Pull through.
I know. I think we got to get up there early and maybe do a Lumberjack video. First time Lumberjack.
Nice.
That's what I'm thinking.
I like it.
I've swung an axe before.
For sure.
Yeah. Don't say it
how
like that.
good. Like, okay.
I grew up chopping wood. But
nice.
Anyways.
But yeah, so Charlie's on the road. So see him, those are this summer, but then we have a ton more this fall. Check it out at charliebarons.com.
And before we get to our conversation with Elena, we are still raising money for Doctors Without Borders. You can check it out in the show notes, doctorswithoutborders.org, or follow them at Doctors Without Borders. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is my conversation with fashion designer and entrepreneur, Elena Velez.
Is this a decoration or are we cracking this?
You want some?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, freaking A.
It's like 11:04, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Are we recording?
Oh, we're recording.
Okay.
You can record.
Now, how do you like your brandy?
Straight.
Oh, wow.
In a cup.
That is awesome. Tell me when.
This is a terrible exercise. That's
Keep
good.
going?
Yeah, a little bit. There we go.
I didn't know if you were.
Are you going to match my freak?
Oh, my God. We're going to see.
You're going to try.
We're going to see.
Do you know that reference, Charlie, or no?
Don't hurt him.
Somebody gonna match my freak.
If he had gone to Summerfest, he would know.
Cheers.
Cheers, santé.
This is so much brandy.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's 90 proof. Get ready.
Oh,
Go for it.
Might be just a sipper. That's good. What do you think? How do we feel? For Brandy, how do we feel?
What's
this is smooth.
Ooh.
It's smooth. See?
This is smooth.
It is smooth.
You like it?
Yeah, this is like good, proper Stella's hooch.
Yeah.
This
that's
is easy. Don't even play with me. We can drink this whole bottle
Okay.
before noon.
Really?
Yeah, that's when the real podcast starts.
Oh my God. Well, we got an hour, 45 minutes, folks, before the real questions get asked here.
Hey.
That's Charlie's Brandy.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You want to do a Fashion Week sponsorship?
Yeah. How much?
How many can you give me of these?
You tell me a number.
Just the one.
Tell me a number.
I don't know.
What's
I
a
need,
good
like,
number?
Let's do like 20 bottles.
Done.
Okay.
Done.
No, like bottles and models in New York City.
Bottles and models. Oh, hell yeah.
He thinks I'm playing. I'm so serious. Let's go.
No, I'm not playing.
Let's go.
Get that
I'm
written
down.
down. We have
New York
it.
Fashion Week. Put it on the Cripescast brand whiteboard. I saw that too.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We got a whiteboard down there?
Yeah, we do.
Damn.
Fuck.
That's what I aspire to as an entrepreneur, is to have no idea what's going on in the company.
Welcome.
Damn.
I feel like I just brought you here to just roast me for the whole time.
Listen, I have notes.
I love it. They are loving
I
this.
came to grill the bit.
That's good.
Let's
I
go.
like that. All right, let's go. So, you got. Why don't you just take me back from the beginning? When did it all begin? What was the first kind of inspiration?
Oh God, I don't know. It's like, it's hard for me to try and articulate my work. I'm not the best person to do that. I'm just like creating from what feels right and natural and exciting to me. And I think that I let other people dissect what those references are. But like, I'm a Milwaukee girl, born and raised. My dad's Puerto Rican. He's a musician. My mom's a ship captain on the Great Lakes. So that was like a very formative memory of mine. Yeah, so I guess the entire brand universe is kind of trying to quantify all of these different nostalgic memories that I have that I'm kind of interpreting and adding a little bit of my own personality to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like what you're doing, so you're bringing this sort of industrial feel of these Midwest cities that you got on those ships with your mom, right? Like that was kind of, I don't know. I feel like sometimes like, did you feel as though that maybe that unique perspective was like not sort of like you look at these cities in decay a lot of times and that's where your weakness, but in the weakness is the biggest strength.
Totally. Yeah. Well, the thing is that like I was doing a lot of traveling. I've always known that I wanted to be a fashion designer for some strange reason. It's always been like a compulsion towards this craft that I could never articulate when I was young. Always wanted to do fashion design. Never quite sure if I wanted to be part of that economy and that industry. But as I started to travel for college, I went to school in Paris and London and New York, and I was starting to develop my own assertions as an artist and as a woman. And I just wasn't seeing myself represented in the way that I wanted out in the world in these like very cosmopolitan creative coasts. So it really enabled me to kind of tap back into the story that resonated with me and what I wanted to be able to offer other people in the fashion space.
What is the fashion space like? What you weren't seeing? What was that like?
Yeah, I guess like just the stories of like womanhood and femininity and class were just not resonating with me. Come on, you can do better than that.
It
Let's
went
go.
down. It went down the wrong pipe.
His own whiskey.
Jeez, his own
Brandy.
Oh my God.
whiskey. You got to redact that.
His own Brandy.
His own Brandy.
Went down the wrong pipe, guys. Yeah, it can go down the wrong pipe, and that can be okay.
It's
Dang.
not wrong pipe.
I only have
proof.
one Brandy pipe. Listen, I
There you
don't know
go.
about you.
Let me chase that with some coffee.
He's
There you
chasing
go.
with Collectivo.
That's
Damn.
It's the most basic. Anyway.
anyway.
Yeah, but I guess I just wasn't seeing myself out in the world. And I was like, okay, I can't handle another like stuffy upper middle class, like delicate sensibility bourgeois woman. Like, where's the Midwest? Like, where's that influence? Where is the type of woman that I see on the ships, in the factories, in, you know, all of these different like craftsmanship capacities, I guess. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And would you say that your mom Well, she's obviously a central figure in your business, and we'll get to that in a moment. But would you say your mom was kind of like an early influence from a fashion
Totally.
perspective?
I think that's kind of a cliche, though. Like that every fashion designer's like first like muse is always their mother, because obviously like that's a proximity that everyone has.
I didn't know that was a cliche. Is that?
Yeah. Every famous gay fashion designer's like first Barbie doll was his mom, right?
Oh.
And like it's always the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just got like all of these different like soft and hard powers to her that I think make a really interesting paradoxical representation of womanhood and femininity in a way that just feels honest and cool.
Yeah, and tell us kind of like what she was a captain of
every boat in Milwaukee.
So she did cargo ships? Did she do
cargo, tugs, breaking ice, like the booze cruises, the Edelweiss? Like if you were on the Edelweiss from like 1999 to like 2004, I was in the cockpit drinking a kitty cocktail and reading You for Filth. Like that is like, I was posted up on the Edelweiss. And then she also ran the Dennis Sullivan, which was so sick.
Wait. She did. That's the
huge like that pirate ship that's off of the Discovery World.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, with the masks and stuff.
Yeah.
What did she do on that?
She was the captain.
She was the captain on that. That's a whole other category.
Yeah.
Because you gotta know how to. That's an actual sailboat, isn't it?
It's an actual sailboat. Yeah.
Damn.
That's
wild.
When I was young, they used to put me in a harness, and I would get to climb out on one of the masts and like unfurl like a jib sheet. It was sick. That thing gets speed. Like it's fast.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can, because like I have to imagine that's a whole other level of commanding.
It's insane.
Because if you say the wrong thing, I think the sail can capsize it pretty quick. I don't know.
Probably not on a ship that big, but I like the idea of that better.
I mean, I want to sync it up there.
She's got so many good stories of like almost being arrested by like the FBI in the Caribbean for like being a pirate. She's so sick. My mom's crazy.
Your mom was a pirate? Damn.
You're not going to hear that from me on the Charlie Barron's podcast. Like, one thing about my mom. Like,
I had to dig into that. Where'd your mom learn how to sail and do all that?
Virgin Islands, in Milwaukee, Lake Michigan, really, for the most part.
That's really cool.
She did it all despite a man who told her that women shouldn't sail boats. Ooh. Like, that tracks.
That's badass. Yeah. That's badass. I see that. Did she ever do the ferry cruiser?
Which one's that?
It's where it takes your car from Milwaukee over to Michigan.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay. The icebreaker, though.
Yeah.
Freaking cool.
I have like really cool memories of like drifting through these like very beautiful and bleak apocalyptic landscapes in the winter when I'm young.
Yeah.
Just me and her in these like very heavy metal machinery sorts of landscapes, just breaking ice, and it was crazy. It's such a cool childhood. And I'm an only child, so it was really just me and her growing up. Yeah. So it was fun.
That's super cool. And that just sort of bled. I mean, you were drawing, I read somewhere, and drawing in the boat as well. So
probably.
Okay. That's what but is that like, do you remember like the first drawing you made where you like, I want to push this into fashion? Where you get that initial thing for fashion?
Well, the thing is like I was always excited about collaging different proportions and shapes and colors on a female body. Like for some reason, like I liked to see a canvas as like a body, whether it's 360 in the round, that was exciting to me. I can't say, that's just like a weird creative compulsion. But the moment that I knew that fashion was like a viable career path was like obviously in like 2006, 2007 when Project Runway hit, and I finally had all of this language to articulate what it was that I loved. But I was doing so much before that in Wisconsin. Like old heads remember like Fashion Ninja and Madame Chino, like all of these cool indie 2006, 2007, like just artists who were doing workshops out of their like basements or their River West like shop fronts, just really cool like underground DIY fashion scene that I was coming up in as like an 11, 12-year-old.
Oh, that's super cool.
It was fun.
I had no idea anything like that existed.
Milwaukee was so lit. We have to bring it back.
Yeah. What's the scene like in Milwaukee right now? Like, do you know? Have you been out of it for so long?
I mean, there's not much going on here, but like I always see like barren land as like room for opportunity to grow. So I'm actually so excited about the possibility of what Milwaukee could be.
Yeah.
I really want to open like a manufacturing component of the brand that is situated in the Midwest, probably in Milwaukee, ideally. But just something that makes the brand entirely circular, vertical, offers like education and employment opportunities, and is just kind of as sexy as a back of house operation as the brand is front of house.
Mm-hmm.
Like the closest I could compare it to is like an LA or American Apparel, where they made the system of creating the garment as exciting and cool as like the actual product.
Right. Yeah.
I want to do something like that for the Midwest.
So would you take like one of those, you go into like the third ward or you go into River West and you find there are like those big, anywhere along a river, actually, there's all these old industrial buildings because that's where industry was along the river.
Yeah.
Could be cool with your mom with the boat and everything.
So
the connection.
Cool. Yeah.
Would you buy one of those buildings and sort of like...
Well, here's the thing is that I wouldn't have to. Like, I've presented this idea to so many people who are so excited about what this could be.
Other people's money.
Other people's money. Yeah.
Well, that's great. So, but is that kind of in the works? Where are you at with that?
It's in the works. It's one of those things that is just requiring a part of my brain that I can't access as like a mother and a creative and somebody who's just like so inundated with like putting out fires in the brand.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, if this is going to happen, like I have to find other people who can help me flesh out like the business proposal.
Right.
But all the ingredients are there. It's just like, how am I going to build the cake? Like,
Right. Yeah, you need like a producer on it or so, or somebody to take your vision and just get the nuts and bolts together.
And everybody says that. Like every creative is like, oh, I just want to be the visionary. I want to be the creative. I need to find somebody else who can do all the hard work. But like, LOL me. Like,
damn.
Well,
it's not like I don't pay, you know.
Yeah, true.
I don't pay. Sorry, I pay in clout.
No, I would be.
No, you do a lot of the hard work, but I would say there's a lot of times where you're like, I can't get into the minutia.
Yeah, I do.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I do say that.
I want that on a hat.
I can't get into the minutia.
No, can't do it.
Well, the more
the more you're away from it, I feel like the better it is
mentally.
Yeah.
But the more I give you, the more badass you get, you know?
So true.
It's just amazing. Yeah. See? Positive reinforcement. That should work for another week.
Sandwich, right? Cool.
But I'm super excited about that because I do feel like, you know, whenever we have creatives on here, whether it be a comedian or a filmmaker or, you know, in your case, and you guys live outside of the Midwest, it's like, what would it take to make Milwaukee a place where this could be like sort of an Austin for comedy and Nashville for music? Could you do that here with fashion?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It takes maybe one person to be sort of the epicenter of it, and then others will follow.
And then there's kind of like a satellite constellation of people that are like drawn to that sort of force that's being generated, I guess. Like, look at the music scene that was so prevalent here a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Like, there was really a moment where people are like, okay, Milwaukee is like a secondary, tertiary capital for music.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this is coming out of the pandemic where we're starting to like try and understand what our new identity is. But I think all of that is actually really productive for cities like Milwaukee, cities like Austin, cities that are like where people are congregating now, that they don't have to be static or physical in one location versus another, and can really prioritize quality of life. So I don't know. This is the thing, is like fashion's difficult because you can have a story and you can have an identity, you can have a visual universe, but it just has to align with the zeitgeist for it to be impactful. And there are some designers that just never make it because their story isn't relevant. It's not touching anyone. It's not like affecting anybody in any sort of meaningful way.
When did you realize your story was touching people?
I don't think I've ever been specifically aware of that. Like, I try really hard not to get too meta about what I do because it kind of separates me from the the proximity to the craft, which is what ultimately like carries the brand. But I think that there are a lot of different accessible touch points to the brand that resonate with all sorts of different people. Like I'm a non-traditional Hispanic female founder from a creative capital, from like a city that is like totally not represented in the creative industry is what I mean to say. So like that kind of resonates with people who want to see like the fashion art industry democratized in kind of a cool way. Like, why is it that the only creative people that get to impact the American creative identity are from New York or LA? And like, are those really the people that we need to be hearing from right now? And you know what? I will say that like, I think the last couple of political elections have really shown me that like, oh, there needs to be a voice from the Midwest, because the polarization, the inability to fathom what the left and the right are thinking or living just shows that there's no conversation in between these two polar opposites. And fashion and art, comedy, these are all really unique vehicles to get to bridge conversation and bring people together through just good storytelling and like human-centric philosophies.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right that sort of polarization is partially, and each side sees the other as evil. And all these artistic mediums are ways of bringing people together. And you do such a great job of bringing sort of the industrial feel into like almost like people might stereotypically think fashion is feminine and industrial is masculine. And you sort of bridge those in a very cool way. And people have resonated with it. You've had Taylor Swift where but where, like, what was the first moment in doing this where you saw that there was a pop, I guess, of that this was wanted? Like, was it a first award, or was it Vogue reaching out, or what was the moment where you're like, oh, okay, this is clicking?
I guess I still struggle with that. Yeah. Like I never know if what I'm doing is working or not working. Like it's very hard for me to gain the altitude that I need to be able to see myself from that perspective.
Wait, if Taylor Swift's wearing your stuff,
that to me feels like a coincidence.
It's so funny.
Yeah. That's like just me like having a lot of friends who are stylists. That's random.
That's so interesting. God dang. You can't even see that, huh?
That's the playing in traffic that is required to continue to get the wins.
I know what you're talking about, because I have a hard time. Do you not absorb your wins as much?
Never.
You just on to the next one. You're like, the next shoe's going to drop. This is all going to fall apart.
Yeah. Well,
that's so Midwest of you.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I've only expressed like 30% of what I really want to communicate with my work.
Yeah.
And I've struggled my entire life from not having the tools to be able to express myself, whether that be talent or skill or money or like actual verbal language. And it's always just been this like feeling of, oh, just bear with me. Just wait. I'll show you. Just wait. I'll show you. And like, I'm still feeling that like so urgently.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Now let's talk about some of those things, because I think that this is a big part. Outside of creative, one of the big things is financing. And that's as you bring in this bridging of two types of people, that's a big thing. A lot of the financing's tied up in who you know in New York or LA or whatever. How did you finance your company initially?
All of my money is Milwaukee based. Yeah. So all of my investment capital is generated from startup incubators in Milwaukee, which was really important to me and really fucking cool to be able to say, like, this is a by us for us fashion brand. And whether or not I spend more time in New York or Milwaukee is besides the point. Right. Like, this is something that people see value in. I worked with Generator, which is an amazing startup accelerator program. They've done a lot for like the creative industry in Milwaukee. I've worked with CSA Partners, which is like another amazing, group of people that just really value building a culture in Milwaukee, which is amazing. So I did a lot with that.
Yeah. And initially I read that your mom put up.
That's like deep lore. Like that's not totally true. That's just something that the New York Times put out as kind of like a very incendiary kind of like a grab piece. So that's not totally true. But it is true that my mom has put a lot on the line to help me, exceed and excel in this industry. But she's seen me since I was 7. She's never, ever seen me doubt or question my trajectory. So if she really truly believed that, like, she would want to help and support, and she does.
What's the larger thing that is to be said about financing in this industry? Like, can you do it without financing? Like, how can somebody out there who wants... You can
do it without financing, but it's going to take you twice the time.
Okay.
And this is the thing, is like, in a creative industry, you don't have time.
Right. You
have to be the first to claim an idea, to claim a creative real estate. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. It's also a matter of like endurance as a founder. It's like, what I do in a year is so exhausting and takes such a physical, intellectual, spiritual toll on me that I need to get it done in 5 years, because I don't have 10. I'm going to die. Yeah. So this needs to happen between this time and this time, or it's just not happening, because A, the ramp is running out, and B, like, I'm going to spiritually collapse.
What do you mean the ramp's running out, though?
Well, it's always a ramp. Like, there are certain metrics and just very concrete factors that need to happen and need to be accounted for in a certain amount of time for something to either happen or not happen.
You're talking about someone to buy your whatever. Like,
talking about like a buyer. I'm talking about Fashion Week. I'm talking about being able to make your production timeline work.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
All of these different sorts of like things, like managing your cash flow. That's a ramp. Like, I have 6 months to be able to execute on X, Y, Z. And if I can't do that, or if I can't plug A into B, like, it's just not going to happen.
Because it's not obviously designing, you're creating these collections, which you then have to sell, and you're dealing with merchandise on hand.
That's the thing, is like, I'm not a fashion designer anymore. I'm like the executive intern at Elena Velez. Like,
Funny.
You think I get to spend my time drawing and designing and like interfacing with celebrities and going to New York Fashion Week? That's what I show you I'm doing, but that is 10% of like what I'm actually doing. Just business admin.
Yeah, no, I'm on
QuickBooks trying to figure out how to categorize my expenses.
Wait, you're doing that?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I have no team.
You have no team?
No, it's just me.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's kind of cool. That's kind of funny. It's like, oh, I'm bulletproof because I'm the source of all of this amazing like output.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm broke.
That's it.
So like, once I get that team, once I get that funding, it's over for these hoes.
Okay. I mean,
listen.
Drink to that.
I know. I am so interested in how this business works, because first of all, if I were doing my QuickBooks, I'd be audited so freaking fast.
So fast.
How are you not getting audited?
I just...
Are you good at that stuff?
No.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Pure
I'm
luck.
worried for you right now.
I'm worried for me too.
I did my taxes once. I got audited.
Listen, I kind of want to go to jail for a year though.
That'd be bad. I mean, think about what that would do for sales. And then you could get that industrial kind of jail thing in your next line.
I will say that I feel like going to jail for a year would be an extremely formative experience. And not no to it.
And not what?
So if I have to cook my books...
Yeah, you're going to go...
to go to jail for one year. Less.
6 months.
6 months.
You're going to white collar jail at that point.
Yeah.
You're like getting the jail...
I'm networking.
Yeah.
I'm networking.
You're like,
you're getting investors.
How do I make
investors? I'm pitching. I'm doing lightning rounds. If you're talented enough to go to jail for tax fraud...
Yeah. You
coming out. You coming out.
Talented enough to get out of that. That's hilarious.
Because then you wouldn't have to worry about the admin too. You'd just be there like being creative the whole time.
It'd be so nice.
You'd get like
I would read a book. I would read a book and I would have health care. I would have childcare.
Do they have childcare in jail?
Yeah, you are not with your child. And they are being cared for elsewhere.
By the state.
Right.
Okay, good. Glad we touched on every topic.
5-year plan, go to jail.
Yeah. Exactly.
What about the sort of we do merchandise here to a certain degree, or have. Some clothes are involved in that.
Cool.
There's a lot. Not that I'm trying to, say I'm a fashion designer too.
Right, but you are wearing a Fleet Farm shirt.
Sponsor the podcast.
Sponsor the podcast. Yeah,
that's sick.
That was unintentional too. Sick.
Fleet Farm sponsors the pod.
Yeah, I'm a lucky duck.
How do I get on that? How do I get on that tip? I'm trying to like collab with Milwaukee Tool, and I got on a call with them, and they were concerned. They
concerned?
No. They were just confused and concerned, as if like I had pointed out like a gas leak smell. Like they just had they're like Gen Z fashion brand. I want to turn Milwaukee Tool into the next Carhartt.
Ooh.
100% they could do it. 100%.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
You drive down the highway 94 whatever in this, and you see Milwaukee just right on the thing.
Just give me a little. Deal. Just give me a little $2 million, like
a casual $2 million.
Casual $2 million.
That's a great idea.
It's a really good deal for them.
No, it is.
Are you gonna do it?
I don't think so. I think they're doing really well right now. Obviously, I don't think they want to rock the boat by doing like a capsule collection with New York's problematic fave. Like,
are you problematic?
Good. I don't think so. I just don't map cleanly enough onto anyone's political matrix, and that's the point. Like, I'm from the Midwest. I'm trying to bridge like all sorts of different cultures and speak to my own authentic experience. And some people really get freaked out by that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think you
crazy
just
times.
Do you.
You have to do you.
It is crazy times, yeah, because people are just. I think if you fully think one side or the other side is right,
you've lost it.
You're fully of shit.
Completely.
I don't know, and so many people are like that, but whatever. We digress. But I think that would be a really cool thing with the Milwaukee deal. But anyway, back to the whole...
Did you know that Karen Davidson opened my show 2 years ago?
Really?
Yeah. Karen Davidson is like the legacy granddaughter of the Harley Davidson empire. She's a down-ass bitch. She is so cool. She came and she opened my fashion show at New York Fashion Week like 2 years ago. She's so cool.
That's badass.
That's another opportunity.
So sick.
That's another opportunity.
Yeah.
What are you going to do there?
Yeah. Have you done a
They
partnership?
already have a creative director who went to all the schools I went to and who's from London. So we're going to keep it cute, but...
Okay.
We'll get in there some... Yeah.
Pick me.
Yeah.
Is that is an interesting like what are the ways to take fashion, you get like the credibility of Taylor Swift wearing your thing, which I know you're hesitant to say that was anything more than a fluke, but you get these articles in the New York Times, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, all that. What is sort of like the way to like latch on and get it a money move where it is like a Milwaukee Tool partnership, or it is like a creative director for a brand? Are those the goals, or is the goal for your collection to be like a store and eventually move into like the Macy's kind of a thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing is like in fashion, you can have that hybrid approach. You can do the direct to consumer route. You can focus on celebrities and influencers, but you can also go like a more institutional route and go into like the big retailers, try and appeal to like the big sponsors and collaborators. I've worked with Nike before. I worked with like Dr. Martens, all sorts of like really cool, very high level commercial companies. And it's a little bit of both. Like nobody in the commercial sector wants to see you compromise too much of what it is that makes you special and makes you unique. They just don't want you to be spicy on the timeline and like shit posting on Twitter, which I do be doing. So listen.
Oh, that's where you get into trouble. Is it Twitter?
I love to just observe and comment and be part. That's the thing, is fashion is about like digesting and having an opinion on your times. Yeah. And really understanding the zeitgeist and finding where you situate yourself within it. Yeah. And so how could I not be curious or passionate about culture and about all of these things that are specific to my times, but relegate that just to fashion? God, yeah. I mean, that's true. I have no interest in reading a goddamn thing on Twitter. That's good. Or good for you. That's so healthy. No, but I would rather snort glass. Yeah. I just have no interest. Yeah. But I
that's not to say that like, but what is it that you, and this isn't like a why the hell are you on? But what do you get from?
I guess I want to be influenced by the times. I want to be steeped in the discourse of our times, but then also find the eternal thing in the current thing, as my friend Honor Levy mentioned on her last podcast. Like, how is this plugging into the story of humanity? Like, what is the larger, what can I take out of this to be able to compare it to something that was written 1,000 years ago and 1,000 years in the future, that tells me more about the human experience? Like, there are so many universal overarching narratives in culture, politics, what have you, like art, that are cyclical and will continue to be cyclical.
Yeah.
So what is the forever story in the current story? And how can I kind of interpret that to feel now, but to be important to the future?
I get that. I have a concern that...
What's your concern?
The social media is eliminating the human story, period.
Yeah.
Because I think we're becoming more machine-like.
Yeah.
And I think it's intentional because we take these aliens with us everywhere. I'm a big, Kelling's laughing already. But I do think that our communication over these things is taking out the human element to the point where maybe we are heading to a trajectory where humanity is escaping
really
all
scary.
of us.
But that's why you need me, because like I'm aware of that. I identify with that.
Yeah.
It makes me a decent interface between being able to see, oh, this is a crazy thing that's happening here. I'm going to dip my toe in and just kind of take the temperature, but also like be able to have the self-awareness that this is crazy.
Yeah.
And that what I want to do with this is productive.
Yeah, no, and it's no, whether people are doing it or not, it's no, I think there are some people that can do it, some people that get lost in it.
Totally.
Also, it's super controlled by bots.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I think they did a study
like bad
recently.
faith, shady players who are just unwilling to like either own up to their identity or own up to the source of their funding.
Yeah, right. It absolutely.
It's crazy times. You have to have such a level of media literacy to be able to navigate anything in the digital landscape. And I feel so burned by that because there are so many, like I see some of these articles that come out about me that are so fallacious, so erroneous, that so absurd. Yeah, like people put out all sorts of different like hit pieces or negative like Substacks about what I'm up to. And it's just like, really,
why?
I don't know. I think it really is because like I'm not easy enough to map, to clock, to say, oh, she's this, she's that, she aligns with me, she doesn't align with me. People hate obscurity. People can't handle grayscale.
You lean right in certain areas.
Not even. I'm just, I see problems, I see benefits in all sorts of different ways. And I'm not always conscious about how that influences my work, but it's something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I don't prescribe anything with my work. I'm always just asking questions, looking at something, trying to make sense of it. And that really freaks people out.
I must have not gone deep enough down the fashion blog space to get to the controversy.
Yeah. Here's the thing is like last February, I did a story. Well, not a story, but I'm hosting salons now. I think that's a really cool way to bridge and to accumulate all sorts of different interdisciplinary thinkers and makers.
For those who don't know what that means,
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I just have like people that are coming to these different events that I'm putting on who are writers, artists, comedians, politicians sometimes, like influencers, people who are from all sorts of different walks of lives creatively, but just bring kind of a unique quality or understanding to the table.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a really interesting way to start to bring fashion to a new demographic of people that are excited about aesthetics and excited about cultural storytelling, but wouldn't necessarily like overtly identify with fashion. And that's what I want to do is I want to bring this medium to other people who can poke holes in it and dissect it and add to it and make it stronger. Because I really do truly believe in like the power and the vision of what American fashion could be. and it's never existed before outside of like a commercial realm.
Yeah, I think that that's really interesting. One question I have for you, especially since your fashion and largely relies on the industrial, what about the manufacturing of your stuff? Where does all that take place, and how much focus do you put on sort of the sustainability of all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, well, everything's done in the U.S. right now. It's all made in New York, which is
incredibly expensive,
insanely expensive, and why nobody can afford it, and why I'm struggling right now. Like, I could outsource to China, outsource to India, Mexico, all sorts of different places, and have a product at like a unit economic PPU that would make sense to people to be able to purchase.
Yeah.
But it really is important to me to be able to rehabilitate like American manufacturing. That's something that I'm so excited about. Like, all of my friends growing up in high school and early college years were all specialists in like very blue collar trades. They were like welders, machinists, fabricators. They worked in factories. Like, they did a lot of welding. Like, metal is a huge contribution to what I bring to my fashion message, I guess.
Yeah.
I really want to be able to like recontextualize what's possible for the future of like American artisanal craftsmanship from a fashion perspective.
Well, I think that's incredible. We make a lot of our stuff in the US. It was kind of an early thing for me. And it's also the reason that I didn't double down on the merch side of it, because the profit margins are slim. You know, like I've said to the audience, like, you pay more, but hey, I pay more too, you know? So, but it's tough because so many people will come to my show wearing my shirt, which they clearly just got off of a knockoff thing Because as soon as you make something, they knock it off. And then, but the whole point of that is to say that fashion as an industry, you're fighting against the tide by making in the USA, because we've shipped all of that stuff overseas.
It's all outsourced.
For decades.
Which is why you have to do it differently. You can't work hard. You have to work smart.
How do you work smarter with
you galvanize the culture. You bring together all of these disparate resources that make something sexy and cool. And you concentrate those things. Like, what I want to do with American manufacturing can't exist as like a faceless factory in some like backwater. Like, no, it's got to be cool. You have to want to relocate to work there.
I see.
You have to build a culture around that. This is a long game. Like, this is like something that requires a lot of like vision and a lot of compromise from like a lot of talented people that might not necessarily like identify with the Midwest, but could live a much better life there and would be much happier living there than working in the garment district in LA or New York. So there's definitely room for possibility here. Excuse
the interruption, ladies and gents, but I want to let you know that we are powered and presented by Everlight Solar. Now is the time to get your free consultation with Everlight Solar to see how solar panels and solar energy can work for you. If you're a longtime Cripescast listener or new, now you know the Cripescast studio is powered by Everlight Solar. It is green energy, ladies and gentlemen, good for your pocketbook, good for the world. Check it out, everlightsolar.com. And also Fleet Farm. When your dog's food bowl is looking empty, don't you worry, because Fleet Farm's got you covered. They've got a huge selection of dog food, wet or dry, from top brands like Purina, Science Diet, and Blue Buffalo. And with their best price guarantee, you'll always get the lowest prices on your dog's food. If you somehow find a lower price, guess what? They will match it, ladies and gentlemen. Find all your dog's everyday essentials and more over at the Fleet Farm. And folks, summer is in full swing, and that means hanging out by the bonfire, fishing trips, and you gotta have your must-haves. Bonfire must-haves, the old-fashioned, made with Barron's old-fashioned brandy. What else? We got the hoodies.
We've got this last weekend I was at the cabin, and it was perfect for using the cribbage board and the deck of cards to pass the time if you have to be inside if it's rainy. But if it's not and it's sunny out, you need your koozies to keep your beers cold. You need some t-shirts maybe to just rep the Midwest brand if you're on the boat or on land. And yeah, I'm trying to think of other stuff that we got going. The fanny packs.
The fanny packs, which we find out in this podcast, can fit an entire bottle of Barron's Old Fashioned Brandy.
We did find that out.
Custom made for that. So folks, you can get it all. Cripescast.com. Just click on the merch section. And with that, back to my conversation with Elena. Earlier, you brought up American Apparel. And I think they had some problems, actually.
They did.
I forget what the problems were.
Just founder indiscretion. Let's say that.
Oh, okay, founder indiscretion. But for a while, American Apparel was like made in the USA brand with somewhat of affordable clothes.
Yeah. The hottest influencers you've ever seen, the best branding.
Yeah.
They really like weaponized good branding.
I agree. I do think they also, though, had some issues with workplace. I think they had, I don't know, something with like the actual workers where I don't think they were either getting paid a living wage or they were
they were hiring illegal workers. So undocumented workers were working in their factories. They were being paid quite well, actually, but that was the issue, I believe.
And I think that's another thing that like is sort of, as a country, we got to decide if we want to do like textiles or whatever. They're very good at that in China as well.
You have to make it desirable.
Right. I mean, it's not just that like you can make it in the USA, but a lot of times the USA made stuff is just not as good a quality because the workers are not as skilled.
They're not as skilled. There isn't the infrastructure. People really have to put their money where their mouth is here and really invest in making an operation that is functional, comparable, scalable, and cool. That's the biggest thing. And there's so much room for opportunity to have an operation that seemingly serves one function but can serve a million others.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like if you're going to do a factory, you could also do like e-commerce photography. You can also be consulting. You can also be doing textile innovation. You can be doing all sorts of different amazing things that all serve the general umbrella of the enterprise, but aren't necessarily like completely contingent upon the success of one thing.
You see the good thing, the thing that you want, let's say that's textile manufacturing in the US, sustainable textile manufacturing USA, and that may be your loss leader. And then the other things that you do on the side can help support it until it's a thing that a lot of people are buying, and then you get more money in that.
Yeah.
Interesting. And would you say that's maybe the larger dream when you were saying I've done 30% of what I want to do? Is that where you want to go?
Absolutely.
Kind of?
Yeah. I think that's where there's so much room for positive impact in so many different, really meaningful ways. And the fashion is always like my passion project. Like that's what I get out of it as a creative. That's what I love to do. But there's just so much more room for opportunity to make this something significant to others.
Let's say that somebody listening to this podcast is like, oh, this, I like this. Do you like it when people reach out to you?
Of course.
What's the best way to do that?
Email, Instagram. Just find me at info@elenavelez.com. I'm desperate for human resource. I don't even need money. I just need hands.
Yeah.
And brains and people who are willing to donate really niche skill sets, like categorizing your expenses on QuickBooks. Like just really dumb things. And like, this is what really exhausts me about going out and trying to locate these people is that like there's so many just non-starters that are just weigh so heavily on your willingness to keep going out and looking for more support.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, I'm just so exhausted with like the mentorship circuit.
Like where you are mentoring or you are being mentored?
Where I'm seeking support for really specific things, because this is really the glass ceiling in the industry that I'm trying to break through is like, okay, you're willing to spend 30 minutes on a Zoom call offering me philosophical support, but I need action items. I need comparables. I need numerical values. I need names, emails. Like I need like really specific, tangible help. And when people kind of want to just philosophize, and it's just, I don't have time for that, you know?
Yeah.
What do you have? Let's go. Let's cook.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Right. Like what's the biggest thing you're looking for right now to push your thing to the next level?
I need a lot of support business-wise, financially. Like I'm $30,000 in debt, which is like insane to me and debilitating and crippling and spiritually like incapacitating. That's not a lot of money, really. Like that's not a lot of money.
Well, you read often about Kanye West is $1 billion in debt.
Exactly.
Is that the fashion industry to go hard on debt? And then
you have to be willing to bet on black and bet your life and your soul on it.
God,
and be willing to accept the consequences to be successful in any creative endeavor, I believe.
Yeah. And is it sort of like where you have kind of like merchandise on hand that needs to move? Because I know
it's
that world
it's like
too.
it's all sorts of like poor business choices that you make when you're a startup founder and you
Well,
don't know. Like,
that-
yeah, okay, you overinvest in inventory. You think you'll be able to make that money up elsewhere. It's all sorts of like little tiny things that like you learn as you go, and nobody is really willing to give you like the action items to tell you don't do this, don't do that, and they can't possibly know because you're doing something totally different. You're appealing to a totally new demographic. So you learn as you go, and like I've learned an exponential amount over the last couple of years that I can apply.
Right. I
just need to dig myself out of the mess that I made the last 5 years, you know?
Well, it's kind of, if you think about it, people are coming out of school $100,000 in debt.
Totally.
So, you're whatever mistakes you're talking about, this is just like your master's,
Yeah.
Did you this is a thing where I totally had a question. I totally spaced on it. It was a really good question though.
I need business help. I'll wait. You take another sip. I need business help. I need Fashion Week sponsors. Even if like you don't know how the product will make sense in a fashion context, I will make it make sense. I'm an excellent storyteller. I will market this whiskey. I will market this
Brandy,
phone.
you gotta get that. That's an interesting thing though. What do you need for, okay, this is cool. What do you need for a Fashion Week sponsor? What does
I
it
need
look like?
Fashion Week sponsor is either offering product or monetary support. I can take small checks, 5 to 15K. You can have front row seats. You can meet all your favorite models. You can
To New York Fashion Week?
Yeah.
I can get front row seats.
You can get front row seats. You can meet all your favorite models. I'll sit you next to Charlie XCX. I'll sit you next to Doja Cat. Who do you like? Let me know.
I want to sit next to Doja Cat.
Do you?
Colleen wants to sit next to Doja Cat.
Yeah,
all right.
You don't mind.
I feel all right.
You can
to
walk
New
in the
York.
show. You can walk in the show.
I can walk in the show.
Wait, you have to.
You
Charlie,
should walk
have
in
to
the
walk
show.
in the show.
All right,
Hannah
guys.
texted me earlier.
Buy Brandy. Okay.
Bye, Brandy.
And
Get your mans to Fashion Week.
Buy Barron's Old Fashioned Brandy. If we get enough money from you buying this, I'm gonna walk in New York Fashion Week.
Hell yeah.
Or Colleen's gonna sit next to Doja Cat.
Both.
That's cool as hell.
Literally, Hannah texted me and goes, Charlie needs to open the next show.
No, he has to. I'm not joking. I'll do it.
Like you're walking.
Oh, like
you
I
walk.
walk
No,
down?
in the show.
How do I model walk?
We can practice.
Let's do it.
Yeah, start over there.
Okay. Hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
I got a hold of bottle.
Okay. Yeah, take the bottle.
But like casually.
Okay. My models are different. Though. Like you can't just like walk cute. Like it's gritty, heavy, industrial, nasty, crunchy, feminine. Think about no.
Do it again.
You are exiting a West Dallas bar. You just got off the back of a Harley Davidson.
Oh,
It's Summerfest.
So my ass hurts a little bit.
Right.
All right.
Hunch your shoulders and be
Like what?
Yeah. Be angrier and heavier and stompier, faster. Ladies.
You didn't see what I just
I
did.
didn't see what you
wanna
just said.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk normally.
Okay.
I'm just gonna walk normally and you tell me what's wrong.
Right. Everything. All of it. Exit stage left.
What's wrong with it?
It's too cute.
It's not cute?
It's too cute.
Be like
It's too cute.
tired.
I gotta be mad?
Yeah.
All right. I
Be
can do
mad.
it. I can do it.
I just used the company card for my own expenses.
Yeah. Faster. Slouchier.
God damn.
You one more run.
It's
Take
slouchy
yeah,
like this?
yeah.
Brandy down.
All right.
No. Keep the brandy bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
In glass.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So slouchier.
Yeah.
Like, tell me when I'm slouching.
Like just hit. That's good.
This?
Yeah.
I feel like I
That's what I want.
scoliosis.
It's my vision. There you go.
Put the bottle
Okay.
down just.
Hey.
I should have done a middle finger instead of a peace sign.
That's what's up.
All
there's-
right. That's fun. That's fun.
Have you seen this viral video of this girl that is corralling a show pig?
A girl is what?
So she's at some sort of
At
like
the state fair?
no adjacent state fair adjacent. She's like
Northwood State
she's
Fair?
got this stick and she is like ready to show this hog, this like pig at some sort of competition, right? And she's got this stick, like this whip, and she puts herself in like position and she's like getting the pig. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it. That's it. I want her on this show.
What the hell? Yeah, let me see that.
That's Karis, and the pig's name is Iceman. That's sick.
Let me see this. Okay, so she got this.
Look at how she
That's a little fishing pole. That's a ice fishing pole.
Look at how she fixes her shoulders first. And she's like cracking her neck.
Oh, damn. Oh,
that is the Evie girl.
Dang. Holy hell. That's what's up. That's what I gotta do.
That's your reference. That's your North Star.
She looks like a very intense grandfather.
Yeah.
Like a grandfather who's like,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess
that's what the girls love from me. They love when the brand gives curmudgeon. They love when it gives cranky old bastard. They love secondhand nicotine smell in the clothes. That's what they like. Little nasty.
Oh yeah. West Dallas kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're just gonna have to do a lot of field research.
Yeah.
Not that much, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of like walk like you're trying to walk up your stairs to your studio.
Type shit.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. All right. We'll do some professionally.
Let's go.
Yeah. Sold. Look at that.
America's Next Top Model is Charlie Barron.
That'd be cool as hell, man. I didn't even know that.
I have one picture in my hand and only one beautiful man in front of me.
There we go. Literally, wait, we need we have to show your photos from your modeling days.
Wait, you modeled? Whip
Do
it
you
out.
have them? Do not.
Okay. Kohl's. Show me Kohl's.
Right,
show me Bonton.
It wasn't Kohl's.
Show me
it was Shopco.
What's that?
You don't know Shopco?
No.
So way back in the day.
No. How old are you?
I was just going to ask. You're like what, 30, 29, 28?
I'm 29, 30.
You're 29, 30?
Yeah, I'll be 30 in September.
Oh.
How old are you?
37.
What should I know?
Shopco.
About turning 30, but also Shopco. That's fine.
Shopco might have been... Shopco was like an up north Kohl's, but way budgetier.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Shopco, hit me up. Where are you at?
They don't exist anymore. They don't exist.
Hate to hear it.
But yeah, so when I was younger, I forget. I was broke and I was trying to make money, and someone said to model.
Your mom? But I'm trying to find it. Bridget, your sister sent it to me.
No, it was my ex-wife, I think.
It'd be an ex-wife or a mom.
It would be an ex. So I would bike over to the agency.
Wait, you did it.
Huh?
You did it.
I biked to the agency and I said, "What?" And they were like, "Your under eyes are too dark. You need to eat less processed food and drink less." Dang. And I was like, "So they made me."
Is that why you still don't eat processed food to this day?
I eat processed food.
You just like really avoid it.
Well, I avoid it because it's not good.
They gave you the tips.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else did they tell you? Is that it?
There's way worse than that. There is way worse than that.
I'll text Bridget.
Yeah, Bridget. We'll send them to you. But no, I was doing, and I got some weird stories.
I have time.
I once talked to this modeling guy. He was like a judge on a show, and it got creepy in New York one time.
It'd be getting creepy in New York.
They're like, yeah, let's do a test photo shoot. And I'm like thinking,
wait, bring that over here.
That's really
You know
bad.
I can't see that over there.
I
gotta dig in.
This is in college. This was a free photo shoot. It was for my friends.
Oh, Charlie.
So bad. It was for my friends. My friend made a clothing brand, and this was for no money.
Surely not. This exists online in perpetuity?
No, it doesn't exist online.
I have it only on.
Well, you should send it to me just as a reference, and I'll make sure that it does not get online.
Do not send that to her. So this is part of the story. I went to the thing. I didn't have money for test shoots, but my photos.
Right.
My buddy had this clothing brand, but he didn't have money for models. So I was like, I need money for my portfolio, man. I'm a model. And I just needed money so bad I was doing anything.
Yeah.
So
not anything.
I was considering it. No, but I was just trying to model because I needed money. And I was a bike mechanic at the time, and that was
oh my god, that's so Milwaukee.
Yeah, it was mad. Well, I did it in Milwaukee and Madison, but anyways, yeah, it's a great. You hear people say how much money you can make, and you're like, I need to do that. You know?
You don't need to do that. Nothing's worth that amount of money.
Well, I found that out later. I don't think I ever made any money. One time I was a model in a drawing class because I for where these senior citizens draw you like in your you're a body model.
I went to school in Paris. I did a couple of body models.
Did you? How much did you get paid?
I didn't get paid. I did it for the experience of being a voyeuristic muse.
Damn.
What did you do it for?
$25.
That's so much worse.
No,
so much worse.
Stop it. I did it for.
You did it for $25.
I did it for $50.
Right.
And then after, the woman who led the class. The reason I did this, I was in South Carolina. I got hired for a job at a certain salary. I then got my salary cut in half because the business wasn't doing well. So I was doing a lot of weird things for money. One of them was body modeling. Did it for $50 for a group. The woman who ran it afterwards said, hey, I've got another job for you. Will you pose?
It's back of house.
Yeah, back of house. She's like, will you pose nude in this thing like Kane? So you're not showing your... situation. It's like Cain and Abel, you know, after who kills his brother?
Yeah.
Cain.
It's like a biblical tableau vivant.
Yeah, it's like when you're grabbing like the carpet, like but you're naked. So it's just me like
the carpet?
Yeah, you're just grabbing the ground. You're naked on all fours doing it. So I did it for $25, man.
Where's
somewhere?
Where's that footage? Unearth it.
She did the drawing. She did the drawing and she sent it to me, and she made my ass look way better. Like she gave me like
shout out her
side ass muscles. I was like, that's what's up.
Yeah.
But I do
you
have
saw me when I couldn't even see myself.
I know. I tried to find it one time. I was telling someone else that they're like, but it's somewhere in my email. I just have to remember what to search for. Anyways,
naked self-portrait.
Long story short, I want to get back into modeling. So let's do this.
You're talking to the right girl.
Yeah.
The right girl to put you in the wrong place.
I love this. All right, let's also, do something like
I'm beating you, and that's a terrible look.
It is a terrible look.
Let's do Midwest fashion.
Oh, Colleen's got a little game. Midwest fashion.
Okey-dokey.
All right.
Last page.
All right. Last
Should
page.
I have a piece of paper, or am I?
No, these are my cheat sheets. Okay. I'm going to name off some key staples of Midwest fashion, and you let me know if it could or could not make it into Fashion Week.
You're asking the wrong girl. I'll put it all into New York Fashion Week. I will make it make sense, and I will do it.
Okay, so then the next part is how would you do it? So we're going to give you items of Midwest, and then how would you do it? So Charlie, lead it.
I like them.
Okay.
Lead into it, Charlie.
Okay, I would like blaze orange.
No, that's a hard no.
What the?
You just said you can make anything.
No, I can't make color happen. I can't.
Okay.
Blaze, how would I make it happen with a knife to my throat in jail?
How would you? In jail. Oh, wait, you know what? How would you do it?
I would interpret it philosophically. Like, what does orange evoke in me spiritually?
What does it evoke in you?
Just construction.
Okay.
Potholes, holes, distressing, deterioration, imperfection.
Holes.
Hunting.
A hole in the ground.
A hole in the ground.
A hole in the deer. Now we're doing like spoken word. You know what I mean? Or poetry. Like it's like they'd always
one
have
heart,
that cadence.
Two bodies.
Yeah.
Charlie, what are we?
We are in an attic space Milwaukee.
That was
a hole in the...
already doxed the crib. Damn. Okay, next question.
What? You didn't answer that one. How would you get... Would it be holes? They'd be wearing...
It'd be holes.
Okay, holes. Oh! And this is how. Have them wear Crocs. There's holes in Crocs.
I can make Crocs make sense.
And how would you make Crocs make sense?
Medallion.
What?
See, the problem is that like Crocs
medallion.
really trigger my trypophobia, which is like just a disgusting reaction towards small clusters of holes in organic materials.
Yeah.
Like
honeycomb.
That's a thing. I've seen that.
What?
So
what is this?
Here's what I would do. I would burn the Croc. I would melt it into something really interesting and then resculpt it. I would set it on fire and then make something out of the ashes.
Well, you're going to inhale a lot of croc fumes then.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing for us all to make.
Damn. You next camo.
Next point.
Camo.
Easy. Camo.
What
Needs to
camo
know how.
pattern?
No notes.
Okay. Zubas.
What's that?
Like Packers. You know,
A
like
Zuba?
the
they're like
1980s Packers pants. It's like you've seen these.
You have a picture of it. Hold on, Hannah's getting a picture.
A Zuba?
I mean,
Zubas.
yeah,
Zubas.
Zubaz. You got it?
you've seen those, right?
Pajama pants?
Yeah,
No,
well,
they're like the zebra specific.
Let me-
What?
Yeah. These are like you go
They're
to
like
a
parachute
Packers
pants.
game. You go to a Packers game. You wear those. You're
What is that?
freaking cool. Zubas. Yeah, you can get them for any team.
If I do it, will you wear that in the show?
I got a pair downstairs.
Whip them out. Go get them. Go put them on and model them. What is that? Why is your computer so heavy?
Because it's really nice. Because
I've never seen this in my life. This is fake news. This is not real.
No, that's real. That's real. All right. Do you
I don't
like
get
them?
it. I'm really upset. I'm confused. I've never seen that before. Is that the pattern on your computer?
Yeah, it's close.
Very
Zuba's
close.
laptop?
Are you a Packers fan?
I'm a
You don't
whatever brings people together to drink alcohol fan.
care. Cheesehead?
I knew you were going to say that.
See, at least.
My friend Carly, who runs the brand Puppets and Puppets, already did a cheese hat. So I feel like I'm going to let her breathe because she's from Wisconsin too.
Okay.
No notes. Can't be made better.
Bibs.
Bibs?
Yeah.
Like a baby bib?
No. Like, put
Like
your bibs on.
overalls?
We're doing work.
Yeah.
Work bibs.
Perfect already.
Perfect.
So it's
Can't be
fashionable.
perfected. It's fashionable. It's on the runway.
Oh, it's already there.
Hey, yo.
It'll be there in another 5 years.
Let's go.
Those are sick. I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Okay. What about this idea? I like doing bibs. Full Zuba's bib. That Zuba's
Full
pattern.
Zuba's bib.
With the hanger-ons, the suspender portion
yeah.
being old belts you got, and it's two different belts. Is that
Wait. Here's the thing.
I'm throwing the kitchen sink at it.
We're gonna take all the points on this list,
Yeah,
and
make it
I'm
into
gonna
one.
make one outfit out of it for you to wear at Fashion Week.
and now you have to say, and you're gonna fucking like it.
No,
Oh,
I don't care if you like it.
okay. Plaid.
There's more on the list.
Yeah.
Plaid.
Is plaid really ours?
You don't like anything on this list.
I don't love it. I will say I don't love it.
Hang on, I got.
But it's a creative challenge.
Okay.
You can't have Zubas and plaid. Pick one.
No, that's the thing about the Midwest, though, is that like
You have to make it make
it's all
sense.
different pattern. It's like you should see when Charlie wears to work. Sometimes is like it's conflicting patterns.
This is probably.
Is
on
this
the,
work? Is he at work right now?
I
Yeah.
think so. This is my office. I'm dressed.
He's at work. Yeah, you
Do I
look
look-
tasteful.
Thank you.
You look tasteful.
This is actually probably on the dressier side. Usually I wear sweatpants.
I know he means that too.
No, he does.
I
Because we have
literally
a
dressed
guest
up
in the
for you.
studio. That's why this is
Yeah.
dressing up.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, what about cargo shorts? Do you like cargo shorts? No.
The silence says it all.
How's about a Stormy Cromer hat?
What is that?
You know, okay, Stormy Cromers are good. These are like, you've been in New York too long. I'll tell you that.
And it shows, darling.
Stormy Cromers are like
He said, you've been in New York too long. No, I just don't have Wisconsin family that loves me enough.
that's not true. Here, right there.
Oh, those
Yeah.
are cool.
Yeah, you've seen it. They make them right in the UP.
In the UP?
In the UP.
We've got a Stormy Cromer on ManaTalkMinute.com.
Yeah, we do
Those
have
are
a Stormy
cool.
Cromer.
I can make that work.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a spring summer collection in September.
Okay, whatever. I'm down to do whatever, honestly.
Wait, what about a collection out of the rubber bass fishing heads that sing a song?
Oh,
The Billy Bass?
Big
Can we
Billy
get enough of
Bass?
those? I'll do it.
Here's a little song I wrote.
Yeah. Little- how's the rest go?
Don't worry.
Worry. Be,
Be
happy.
happy.
You be in
Don't worry.
somebody's son's bathroom, like pushing the fish button, and be like, "Dang, this ain't it for me. I need to step up."
We got to get that for the guys versus girls bathroom sketch.
That's true. That's funny.
yeah.
Can we get some of those?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Let's order one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why
Surprise,
one? I need like 12.
You need 12. We'll
I need
get,
like
so 13
100.
total. We'll get her 12. Get
Who
us
makes
one.
those?
They don't make them in. They might make them again. It's one of them things that like went out of favor and then
surely not.
And then it's probably making a comeback. Okay. Well, that's great. And yeah, from a Midwest fashion sense, this is sort of the last thing.
I outdrank you in 45 minutes.
Wow, we've been at this podcast a while.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies when you're having fun. Okay. Thank you. Do you want a little more?
Do you need help?
I don't need help.
I feel like you need help.
Damn.
Colleen, does he need help?
Getting babied.
Damn.
Dang.
I'm just
not me in this city the last 4 years, and I still outdrank the first Scotty that I met.
Maybe I just like to enjoy my brandy.
It's a sipper.
You can have more. There's a whole bottle here.
I'll save it for you.
So, last question. This is usually a last question in a interview like this of what advice do you have for people coming up and doing it? But I feel like we've talked.
I knew you were going to ask that.
I know. But I feel like in order to create a vibe in a city, in order to create a scene, you kind of need to give you need that sort of mentorship, and so I kind of ask it from that standpoint of not just anybody, although anybody can take this advice, but how can someone make sort of that scene that you're talking about in Milwaukee and make
You just have to be excited about something and be contagious about it and be dedicated and say, no, I'm still as excited about doing that. And I have the work to show it 10 years later. That's the thing is everyone has all sorts of really cool ideas for how the city could be better, but nobody's willing to put in the work and do the first step to make the thing. And it might take you 6 months to make the Instagram. It's going to take a while, but you have to put in the first step to make this a real thing. And that is the biggest thing that kills all creatives is the phobia that comes with making the first step. Because the minute that you choose one direction and you make one step in one direction, you eliminate a million other possibilities for what that thing could be. And that's really scary.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes you a great artist and a great creative is by having enough work to be able to curate down from and enough to say, that's a bad idea. That sucks. I hate that. This is kind of good. I'm going to tweak that and keep working on that.
I think that's the other thing to add to that is the
produce, make shitty things, make the worst things possible.
Don't be
make things that suck. I went to a school in London. I went to Central St. Martin's, which is one of the most prestigious fashion programs in the world. They produce fucking Galliano, McQueen, all sorts of artists. And they're the biggest takeaway that I had from that education was to make something hideous, make something so grotesque, make something that pushes the boundaries of palatability to such an extent that it just inspires disgust, because that's the precipice of genius. Is to know what affects people viscerally, walk it back a little bit, and tailor it towards something that is impactful in a positive way. And that is such an interesting experience and takeaway to have as a creative. I've not heard it really said like that.
Make
the most disgusting, make so much terrible work, make as much bad work as you can. That's the first step to being kind of good at something.
Yeah. And not be afraid to do it. And also you said before playing the long game and when in creating a vibe or a scene in a city rather. And I think that's an important thing as a creative in general. I think it took me maybe 10 years to go from wanting to do something to actually being successful at it. So it's, and a lot of people want, if they don't get it, in 6 months,
right,
a year, 5 years, they're I don't have it. That's not true. I think everybody does have exactly what they want. Or everybody can get, it may not look exactly the way you envisioned it, but it's going to be something incredible if you keep working at it.
But it's also understanding that the marketplace is savage and simply does not care how long you worked on something or whether or not you believe in it.
Yeah.
And accepting that and course correcting in response and not taking anything too personally or too seriously and continuing to have the buoyancy to do it again and try a new thing.
Right. Yeah, don't keep doing the same thing for 10 years. Being like, oh, it's one more year and this should work.
Right.
But yes, you absolutely have to respond to that. Well,
you have to protect your endurance, your spiritual buoyancy, your willingness to continue to learn about things. And that's the baseline. Like everything that you have to do to be successful, you already have that you just need to cultivate.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me. What
Thanks
fun.
for out drinking me with the
It was
brandy.
easy.
Yeah,
it was too easy.
It was too easy.
You know what? You know what I was expecting? What I was hoping for is that like I was going to come to my first Milwaukee podcast with Charlie Behrens. He was going to come an hour late out of his green room. He was going to be really mean to me. That's what I was hoping for. I'm so disappointed. You're so lovely.
Oh, you know what? You're so lovely
Thank
too.
you.
This was very nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do Fashion Week. I think that sounds great.
Yeah.
So we'll chit chat about that. That's just going to be a great video right
It's such a
there.
good video.
That's awesome.
People are going to be really confused.
That's fine. That's
They're
my
like, is he security? Is he?
That's why I got to be the
what
first
is he
one.
protesting? What's he
That's so funny.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. What fun.
And we got to have you sign the wall now.
I'm going to sign the wall.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that is all the time we have for now, Colleen. If people want to follow Elena, where can they go?
Follow Elena on Instagram at Elena Velez, ElenaVelez. And if you want to check out more of her work, go to elenavelez.com. Same spelling, but add the .com, obviously. Find us on all platforms at Cripescast. And if you want to find out or just like know more about the show or send us a comment or learn about all of our other clips or the videos and all that type of stuff that's podcast related, head to cripescast.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly Moraga, for producing. Thank you to Hannah Milos for editing. And thanks to all of you for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
So roll out the barrel and get the band brewing. Life's got you down, just keep her moving. It's on Wisconsin, the Badgers say it's the old Wisconsin Jubilee.
You know, sometimes when you're ice fishing, you put your foot in the walleye hole and go ass over tea kettle and you think you're done. No, you gotta keep her moving.